So this message should be for all Americans. If your child is bit by a tick and they develop some type of illness, what do you do when you know that it was your government who did this to you? What do you know? What do you do when you know that your government bioengineered a tick and they forced that upon your population with the sole purpose of poisoning you or your children? How do you think the American people are going to sit with this one? We let them do it with COVID. We let them get away with a lot over the last couple of years. Are we going to sit by and let them get away with this one? So if you'll just stick with me for the next couple of minutes, I want to show you and I want to put together a compilation of videos, and I think every American needs to see this because this isn't by accident. This didn't happen by chance. This is some type of bioengineered bioweapon. And I think they might be trying to create the next pandemic, but this time instead of a virus, I think it's going to be a tick pandemic. Check out this clip.
I am an avid camper hiker.
Nearly 2 years ago, Holly Raycroft removed a tick from her body. That evening, she enjoyed a pot roast dinner. Hours later, the Hampton Bays woman woke up in the middle of the night.
I was not feeling so good. Stomach, head, the whole 9 yards, and I was having difficulty breathing.
Doctors diagnosed Raycroft with alpha-gal syndrome, an allergy to red meat you can get after being bitten by a Lone Star tick.
Living in Suffolk County, we've got more alpha-gal cases per capita than anywhere else in the country.
Dr. Erin McGinty says now that we're in tick season, she expects to see patients every day. She says reactions from alpha-gal syndrome range from mild to deadly.
Hands and feet are a little itchy, or my stomach is a little crampy, to, hives all over the body, to, in the most severe cases, anaphylactic shock.
Experts say if you live in an area with a lot of deer, you're at risk for getting a tick bite. Now, ticks are prevalent on the East End, but also further west on Long Island.
And they could just take a look throughout all of history. We've never ever heard in our history books that were taught in school or ever learned about these things called ticks that carried a bioengineered disease that if you got bit, you would develop an allergy and become allergic to red meat. It was never ever happened in our past. It would have been documented very well throughout the history books. Never have we ever seen in our history books where our animals were just covered from head to tail, if you will, in these ticks. Let me show you these frogs.
Tick suddenly just in the last decade doesn't just bite you and give you Lyme's disease, syphilis. No, it gives you alpha-gal syndrome. It's been genetically modified. And who's on record genetically modifying ticks with alpha-gal in the name of studying cattle herds and things? Bill Gates. There it is, the tick that causes the red meat allergy. And it's the exact one Bill Gates has been studying for over a decade and releasing into the wild, just like he's on record in Texas, in Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, and other states, and in Brazil and a bunch of other places, releasing hundreds of millions of mosquitoes that are GMO modified to deliver vaccines for malaria and other things, and then all it does is make you get ultra sick. Because they don't just try to make you and pressure you to take their COVID shots. They're looking for ways, flying syringes, crawling syringes, ticks, to force this on the public. These are control freaks. They want to rape your health, rape your future. They want to depopulate you on record because they think you're so stupid. They brag and all these white papers and medical studies and Bill Gates statements and WEF statements about, oh, you think you're going to keep eating beef? We're just going to weaponize into insects, because they're trying it with mosquitoes in studies too, to then genetically engineer them where this pathogen gets into you, and then now you have an allergic reaction to any red meat. But that saves the earth because cow farts are bad. It's all just an excuse for them to run around and play God and depopulate us, ladies and gentlemen. And God knows what else they're loading into these ticks and mosquitoes. They're just crawling and flying syringes. What's the best nanotech we've got? It's living organisms they can weaponize.
So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance. And some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, the Bahana Sadel to GMS, also salutations, Shaltakim out there expressing His truth, and also Shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. As you can see, we're totally dealing with the wicked. how can an individual think of something so evil on how to constantly destroy nature, you know, or anything righteous or anything that the Most High created? All right, he's totally against it. He's seeking a way to destroy it. But the average individual that's outside of this knowledge, all right, they can't grab the concept of that. They think there's actually good Edomites, you know, or that these people are normal. All right, but it tells you in Psalms the wicked are astray from the womb. They go about speaking lies as soon as they be born, man. So these people are very devious individual, right? Devilish. I don't say devilish because the ish means to be like, right? These these people are the devil, all right, that the Bible speaks of. And that's why the Lord got to put these people away. But let's start off with this. Proverbs 24:2. The heart, hold on, man. It says, let's start from one. Be not envious against evil men, neither desire to be with them. Because why? They're going to be destroyed, right? And then guess what? They don't bring forth things fruitful. Okay? It tells you right here. Let's get away from here real quick. What's that? Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. Go to the last verse. It says, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold on this side find it. So you see, man, they're envious individuals, man. All right. And this is what they want to bring. They want to bring death. They want to bring destruction. Okay. They want to bring famine. They want to bring plagues. Like I said, they don't want to bring things that's fruitful to the earth. All right. It tells you in John, it says, John 10:10, the devil comes not but to kill, steal, and destroy. But I am come to what? Bring eternal life. So they hate Yahweh Shai. All right. They hate Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay. So let's go back. It says, for their hearts study of destruction, and their lips talk of mischief. So you see, so they're always, you know, studying on how they can kill you. I'm just gonna put it simple like that. Say that word study it real quick. All right. Habagawa, right? It means you go into it. All right, this is the one I want to point out, to meditate. So you see, they meditate on how to do evil. All right. Now, what does Psalm say? Matter of fact, we can go back to that. Let's see if we get any more off this. Hold on. Read a little bit more of this. To murmur, pleasure, anger, implication, to ponder, imagine, meditate. All right. So they imagine and they meditate on how to do evil. All right. Because who the hell would think to, you know, put ticks, make GMO ticks, man, and put them out into the wilderness? Only the wicked. Then when the tick bites you, right, you're not able to eat beef anymore. You see? Only the devil would study something like that. Let's go to the. But it tells you, it says they work evil upon their bed. All right. In the morning, it then says in the morning they practice it. All right. So they practice and they meditate on these things. All right. How to carry these things out. Let's go to the 21st, 21:10. All right. It says the soul of the wicked desireth evils. All right. So this is his desire. All right. He loves to do evil. Quote again, the soul that is in him is not upright. He get off on doing evil. The soul of the wicked desire of evil. his neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. Oh, that's perfect. All right. So his own citizens, all right, they find no favor in his eyes, man. It tells you, hold on, right here, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Let's go here real quick. It says, an unwise king, Sirach 10 and 20. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through prudence of them which are on authority, the city is inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So you see, we need someone that's profitable, man. Not an unwise, wicked individual. All right, that's trying to destroy everything in its path, man. Okay. So let's go back. Oh, Micah. Let's go to that Micah 2:1. Okay, where's that? Micah 2:1. I was saying they practice these evil plans. All right, they're always in a laboratory somewhere. They are always devising some way on how to fuck you up and make life harder for you. All right. This is what these individuals do. It tell you every thought that they have is a deep thought. Okay. Psalms the 64th chapter. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. And when the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands. So basically the earth, these people on the earth, you like beat up dummies. All right, you crash dummies to these people. You remember those crash dummies commercials? Right? They put the dummies in the car and they go crash into a wall. That's you individuals, man. Let's read in the NLT. Let's see what it say in NLT. What sorrows await you who lie awake at night, thinking up evil plans. You rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out simply because you have the power to do so. So you see, look at that, man. These individuals, man. So let's go to that Psalms real quick. I think I'm gonna get right to it real quick. Hold on. Matter of fact, I'll start from 2 and jump down to 6. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And this is Psalm 64. All right, jump down to 6. Matter of fact, I'm gonna jump to 5. They encourage themselves in an evil manner. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities, right? See, they search out these things, man. All right. And these laboratories in these colleges, they got underground laboratories, you know. They got the CDCC, however you pronounce it, down there in Georgia. Okay. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart, every one of them, and the heart is deep, you see. Oh, let's read it in the NLT. As they plot their crimes, they say we have devised a perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning, you see. That's these individuals, man. That's what you're dealing with.
Now this might be the most ticks I've ever seen on any animal ever. That is insane. And look at the size of them. They're enormous. Huge ticks on this girl. But we just got this python out of the Everglades and she was sitting on a clutch of eggs. We got them too, and you can see she popped this egg right away. You can see the embryo in there is starting to look like a snake. It's got scales developed, so these weren't too far off from hatching. So we got her out just in the nick of time.
right, I'm sorry if you're a sensitive person, but this needs to be talked about. You guys need to share this video. This is obviously a dead moose somewhere in Canada, I believe, and it is just covered in thousands of ticks. This is the reason why it has died, because ticks will suck the blood, and when there's that many, there you go. Crazy. Now, I'm no expert, but I grew up in Canada, and I used to be out in the forest. I literally had a forest out back. I used to be in the forest all the time playing manhunt with my friends. We wouldn't even look for ticks. We'd never even check for them when we come home. If you got a tick, it was a very rare thing. And now we're seeing animals with tens of thousands of ticks on them, just covered head to toe. If you guys think that this is just a natural process, you're not very smart. And the timing of this couldn't be any better. You know, it's interesting that Big Pharma is coming out with vaccines for Lyme disease and, you know, all this stuff to combat the ticks. It goes even deeper when top scientists at these companies go on air and talk about how they can bioengineer ticks to make us allergic to red meat. How about listen?
So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanisms.
This is what they're talking about right here. These microscopic fucking ticks that are just outbreaking all over the United States. You guys think that this is a coincidence, huh? Do you think this is fucking normal, guys? Or do you think something else is going on here? Create the problem and the solution on repeat over and over again. Biological warfare, the same thing that we saw in 2020. That's what you're seeing right now. And I'm so sick of these Satanists that control everything, that poison our fucking air, our water, our food supply, that are releasing these ticks. I'm sick of these people. So when you guys are down to get together and overthrow all of them, let me know. I'll be on the front lines. And in the meantime, you guys should obviously know how important it is to detox your body from everything that they're doing to us.
And as you can see, that's the results of these GMO ticks, man. All right, he's willing to let the earth suffer for his agenda that he has, man. You know, his new world order. Because another thing I was thinking about, when this thing jump off, you know, you're gonna have people that's gonna try to flee to the woods, and guess what? Them ticks is gonna send them people running the fuck up out of there, you know. So he's weaponizing everything. He's weaponizing bugs. He got the drones. He got the AI. You know, he got his military. You know, so Yahweh Shah is he's gonna have to be with us in these days. All right. Well, let's read this in Romans 8:22. It says, "For the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh," right? Because look, the sons of the Most High, the godly, they won't do these things, man. But under this devil, man, these are the type of things that you have going on, you know. It says, "For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected him in the same hope. But the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of the corruption to a glorious liberty of the children of the Most High." It says, "For we know the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now." So you see, everybody is tired. Everybody is wore out, man. And that's because this individual has declared war on earth, man. He has weaponized everything, which that's his blessing. His blessing is the sword, right? Let's go to Revelation 6:4. "And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat upon thereon to take peace from the earth." Right? So really, you don't have a peace of mind, okay? You don't have peace in your household. You don't have peace of mind. You fucking behind on bills, right? You got these super ticks that's ready to kill you. Hell, World War III is around the corner. Okay? It says there It says, said thereon to take peace from the earth, they shall kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, right? And what you see, right, those ticks is part of his blessing, all right? But the Lord gave Esau. He weaponizes everything. He weaponized food, okay? He done weaponized the air. He's trying to figure out ways how to block out the sun, okay? And that's why it says this. We're going to end it right here. Go to the book Revelations 11 and 18. Revelations 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead that they shall be judged. And thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should have destroyed them which destroy the earth, right? That's what he's doing, destroying what this creation. All right. Creation was perfect. The Lord made things perfect, man. All right. But to this devil, he think the Most High he think the Most High made a mistake, man. Matter of fact, he think he's the Most High, tampering with creation. All right. He put himself up as the Son and the Heavenly Father, you know. But guess what? Now his end is here, you know. But anyways, man, hope you was edified. Giving our praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. The honors to the hells of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. Peace.